The Earth is changing. It's been changing for millions of years before you were born and will continue to change in the distant future. But what about during your lifetime? I'm Danny Burke and I'm here to tell you guys about the top 10 events that will happen in your lifetime. Starting off at number 10 now, we have peak population. For all of our lives, the total population of the world has been rising. But did you ever know that it might stop or even reverse? Research by the Dutch Bank in 2013 claimed that Earth will reach 8.7 billion people in 2050. And then the population will start to drop. Now this doesn't mean that millions of people are going to be killed, it will simply mean that the population explosion that has been happening for the past 100 years or so will level out as families have fewer and fewer children, especially in places like China and India. For the first time in living memory, you could live to see the maximum number of humans that will ever exist, at least here on Earth. Next up at number 9, we have the end of passwords. Passwords have been a huge part of our lives. You can probably think of about 3 different passwords you've used right now. But you see, that's the problem. People tend to use the same ones. They tend to be something related to them, and most passwords are actually quite easy to crack, especially if you're a computer. Not sure how many of you are though. The future lies with recognition software. It's already started with phones scanning your thumbprints, voice recognition is already creeping in, then there'll be retinal scans or even heartbeat scans. Everything you need a password for will measure your body in a way that cannot be faked to make sure it's really you, unless you grab someone else's eyeballs like Tom Cruise did in Minority Report. At number 8 now, we have the end of the gas car. In the UK, you'll know gas as petrol, but whatever you call it, it's the stuff that people have been fueling their cars with since pretty much the things were invented. It's been 100 years now since the rise of the gas car, and finally things are changing. Companies like Tesla have led the way when it comes to the electric car. Many people said it would never take off because of how expensive they were or how impractical it was to charge an electric car, but that's all changing. The prices are now tumbling, batteries are getting more efficient at charging, and it's becoming ever easier to own and drive an electric car. Next up at number 7, we have climate change. If you're a young person watching this video, you're going to live to see the planet change more rapidly than it's ever done before. At the moment, the planet is about 0.8 degrees higher in temperature than normal. That's already quite concerning, but by 2052 it will be at 2 degrees and then 2.8 degrees in 2080. Now with this comes everything I'm sure you've heard about before. More rain in rainy areas, more extreme weather such as strong winds and heat waves, as well as glaciers melting. It may be so drastic in some parts of the world that you'll be able to physically feel a difference from today compared with the future. Coming in at number 6 now, we have the Mars landings. In 1969, America landed astronauts on the moon. They had won the space race. It was an incredible achievement watched by millions of people around the world. Well, for many of you guys watching this, you may live to see the Mars landings. If they prove to be profitable, we could see the dawn of a new space age on Earth. In 2016, NASA announced they plan to put a human on Mars by the 2030s. Private companies like Elon Musk's SpaceX have even more ambitious dates lined up. Some people think they could send a shuttle crew to Mars in the mid-2020s. Never mind this happening in your lifetime, it could happen in your cat's lifetime. I'm sure they're really excited about that one. At number 5 now, we have no more cash. When I was a kid, there were only a few certain places where you could use a debit or credit card. These days though, in most western cities, you can go your whole day without ever touching a single coin or banknote. This trend looks likely to continue until its ultimate conclusion, a totally cashless society. Some experts think that within the next 40 years, we might see the end of physical currency altogether. It costs governments billions to produce and maintain physical currency, and if nobody is using it, why bother making it? Next up at number 4 now, we have the end of the language barrier. If you're watching this video right now, that means you have some form of internet access and can easily Google how something is said in any other language. However, it's still quite hard to use that to have a fluent conversation. Things are changing though. Companies like Google and DARPA are perfecting instant translation tools, and when I say instant, I mean instant. You will be hearing it as the person says it. If voice replication technology continues to improve as well, you may even hear it in their voice. I wonder if I should have taken all those French lessons. Coming in at number 3 now, we have the first person to reach 150 years old. It sounds crazy, doesn't it? But some experts think the first person to reach the age of 150 has already been born. Thanks to improved healthcare and diet, the oldest age of a human being is a record that is constantly being beaten. Right now, it's held by Violet Brown, a 117-year-old woman from Jamaica. The overall record is held by Jean Calment, who lived to the age of 122. At the rate things are going, it's very likely that the first person to reach 150 will get there within the near future, meaning they're already alive right now. Maybe it's one of you guys watching this. Maybe it's me. Huh. Next up at number 2 now, we have nanotechnology. You've probably heard the word before and it's probably sounded like science fiction, but it is coming. Nanotechnology is the manipulation of matter that's not much bigger than the size of a DNA molecule. Scientists have been getting better at this for a while now, and within your lifetime you will probably get to see it firsthand. Cells can be programmed to heal wounds, treat stroke damage, or bring youth back to aging organs. Tiny nanobots could live in your body doing the job of your immune system, except about 1,000,000 times better. Chemotherapy could deliver treatment directly to the cells that have cancer, paving the way for a total cure. The possibilities are endless and they could be just around the corner. And finally at number 1 now, we have self-cleaning clothes. I thought I'd end this with a bit of a fun one, but it is totally going to become a reality one day. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Engineers in China have developed a coating for clothes that gets rid of any stain or odor when you step out into the sun. That's it. That's all you have to do. Scientists in South Korea have everything else covered after they developed a robotic fish that can clean clothes for you on the microscopic level. This might all sound very ridiculous and science fiction-y, but surprisingly this is one of the most likely things that happen on our list. In the future, people may even look back on this time where we had to scrub our clothes by spinning them round in hot soapy water and think we were no better than cave people. Cave people with washing machines. Well, it's your life, so tell me, which of these are you most excited for? Is there a really good one that I missed out perhaps? Does the future hold a part 2 to this video? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm Danny Burke, thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.